So Microsoft is actually set to raise its prices on Power BI starting April 1st with an increase of anywhere from 25 to 40% for both Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium. Power BI Pro will jump from $10 to $14 per user, which is a 40% increase. And then Power BI Premium will raise from $20 to $24 per month, per user per month, which is 25% increase. Microsoft says these price hikes reflect an investment in innovation, but industry experts see it as a strategic push to drive customers towards its Microsoft 365 E5 suite and its new Fabric data platform. I guess the key question here is, will customers take the hit, or are they going to start exploring alternatives? What do you think on that, Eric?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know that the customers will necessarily respond by just adapt by moving to another to Office or to Microsoft 365 or any other solution necessarily. I wonder how much of this has to do with the fact that it's getting more expensive for them to maintain all these different tools that they have, and they have to recoup their costs somehow. Especially with all the investments they're making in Microsoft 365 and Copilot and some of the other tools that they're investing in.
Yeah.
I do think Power BI though just has such a unique niche in the market as far as just people that want that sort of flexibility, and obviously data and data management in reporting and analytics, AI, all that's becoming such a big deal in recent years that I can see the value of Power BI being greater now than it was just 5 or 10 years ago. So there's part of me that thinks, well, I mean, it's not, as long as it's justifiable in terms of the business value that companies are getting out of it. I suppose it doesn't matter what they raise their rates to, as long as people can justify it, with the business value. And I've got to assume that, the people I know, or the companies I know that use Power BI or that are Microsoft shops, are pretty obsessed with Microsoft, and I think they'll pay more. I think they have a higher tolerance for those sorts of price increases without necessarily getting pissed off about it. So anyway, I don't know. I don't have we don't have a dog in that fight. So I'm a little bit more neutral on that. That the SAP thing that we just talked about, that I have a very strong opinion about this one. Okay, they raise the rates. Either people are going to pay it or they're not, and they'll adjust accordingly, I presume. So we'll see if that forces more migrations to other tool or other Microsoft products, or if it forces them out of the Microsoft ecosystem altogether. Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out.
One, I guess, general question I have about this is, I guess we've been seeing rising costs across the enterprise software industry. Do you think this trend is going to continue, and should organizations prepare for future price hikes in their tech stack?
Yeah, I think that they'll have to, partially because all the cloud migration, the whole movement to the cloud, as more and more vendors do it, that just increases costs longer terms or for customers. When you look at the ongoing subscription costs, those add up to more cost over time than your initial capital investment you might have made for an on-prem system. Now, you could argue that business value is justifiable in that increased cost, but the costs are higher for cloud solutions. And now you add AI to the mix, and just the infrastructure that needs to be built to support these robust AI tools. Those are big capital investments for the software vendors, and they are going to pass that on to customers, and they already are passing it on to customers. So I think absolutely you can expect all those things, combined with ongoing inflation and world, macroeconomic uncertainty and things like that. I think all that leads to higher enterprise tech costs in the longer term, for sure.